Hello all you YouTube comic book nerds!
Hey everybody, how's it going? Chris here, and want to just quickly talk to you about some comic books that I recently picked up. Some of these are just me trying to, I'm playing catch up basically. A lot of these you've probably seen on some of our great comic book community channels already, but hopefully I will say something a little bit different and just give you some of my insight to these particular titles. So first up we have Spawn issue 211 and 212, Violation of Trust, part 1 and 2. First of all, I love Kudranski's interior artwork. It's really good, and storyline is really good. I like everything that's happening right now. In these two particular comic books, what happens in the storyline is basically Clown gets found out by Spawn for everything that he is, that he's the Violator, and they have a little bit of a skirmish, which they show in panels which are in between Violator and Jim talking afterwards. It was pretty cool stuff, but a lot of talking in them, but a lot of things from a Violator. He lays everything, all the information on the table basically, and tells them what's happening, what's happening with Malbolgia and his plan, and basically tells him, well, you can either, go against me or, try to help me defeat something much more than I am, basically, and stop Malbolgia from taking over the world. That's the basics of it. I mean, there's a few little more things that happen, a little bit more information, but yeah, anyways, they're really good. Spawn, I love it. Pick it up, I think. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I'm liking it. Now I just hope, though, Image, they gotta get on their butt and finish up Image United, because that might give more fans and more people that are starting to get into Spawn a little bit more background and insight to the comic book, I think. So I like Spawn, but boy, do they ever gotta finish that Image United. Okay, here, Action Comics number 2. Most of you guys probably already know this one. After him being kidnapped and he's getting tortured and tested by Lex Luthor, and his cape is being tested too. There's something about his cape being Kryptonian as well and indestructible. So as you see here, I got the variant cover, which I cannot recall who did the cover. I knew it one time, but I forgot. But yeah, I do like this cover better than the regular cover. Comic book interiors are great, and I like the storyline, and I think he gets away at the end there. Yeah, he does, and he finds out about his rocket ship, which I guess in this storyline he didn't know about. So he's finding out a little bit more about himself as well, so that's kind of cool, and I like the way the story is developing. I like the way it's unfolding. As a comic book collector, I'd probably want to really, if I was going to really get into Superman much more, I'd probably want to get more of the old Superman stuff, as you've seen I've been doing, such as the Superman Forever. So I'd really want to know the original histories. But the way this is playing out, it's keeping me into it, it's keeping me reading it. I'm going to get some more Action Comics to see how this storyline goes. So I'll probably finish off this first story arc, and then we'll just keep going from there. So I just want to touch on the cover here too, and talk to Dark Avenger C86 about this. Is that him, and I think somebody else was told that some people were shouting, about Superman here being drawn a little bit gayish. I don't know whether it mean the interiors or just this particular cover. I think if they were meaning this particular cover, I kind of know why. It could be maybe the way he's colored, or just the way he's drawn, the way with the eyebrows, and the way his little smile is. He kind of looks like his cheeks are a little bit blushing. He does look a little extra man pretty on this cover, but it's still really good artwork, and it's better than the regular cover. But yeah, I can see why people were saying what they're saying maybe about this cover. But yeah. Let's see, X-Men Schism 505, very simple. They stop the Sentinel that's coming towards Utopia. Cyclops and Wolverine having their little skirmish. I think it was really good, ended well, and what it's going to be leading into, I think, is really cool. So the Hellfire Club at the end, he's not too angry, of course, that he didn't kill the mutants, but he unveiled this new self-constructing Sentinel, and now at the end he's getting all these orders for these new Sentinels. That's what he says at the end anyway, so you know, he just shows the world how obsolete their old Sentinel technology is, you know, and then he ends up being able to, you know, profit from that anyway. So, some really evil kids, man. So pretty cool. And I'd say to understand Schism and Wolverine side of things a little bit more, to understand his emotional state, reading Wolverine is definitely a must and would really help. I was able to, you probably know already, I had issue 16 and I was waiting on this issue 15 to read it before, you know, I wanted to get the full impact of the story. And this is great. Reading issue 15 and 16 was awesome. Wolverine does, of course, return to the X-Men, because what happens is Wolverine storyline here, and then it leads into Schism, and Schism is going to lead into Wolverine and the X-Men and the new relaunch of Uncanny. But this was great after he finds out that, you know, he's accidentally, well, he didn't accidentally, but he ended up killing those 5 illegitimate children of his that were hired and trained by the Red Right Hand to deliver their revenge against Wolverine. So Wolverine was going to go against the Red Right Hand, try to get his revenge, but of course he was denied that. They all killed themselves at the end, and then he finds out that he's killed 5 of his illegitimate children. And this comic, man, it was great. Aaron, I was a little up in arms a little bit at the last one, you know, finding out that, what, this is crazy, Wolverine's got more children and he just killed them, this is kind of crazy. But after reading 15 and 16, I was a little better with it, with the idea, and it was written very extremely well. Aaron did a great job. Wolverine climbing up a mountain, you know, numerous times and throwing himself off. It was just great. It was fabulous. He ends up running with this wolf pack, growing a super awesome beard in this book. I think Aaron just wanted to write him in a story with a really cool with a beard just like his. But it was really cool. Maybe I should grow a cool Wolverine beard like in this. But yeah, the whole thing was really cool. And then eventually the Avengers, the X-Men, and his girlfriend Melita come back for him, and he does return. While running with the Wolfpack here, they get kidnapped and turns into like this, you know, wolves tearing apart kids for sports thing, and he ends up saving them. So that was kind of a neat development too. But yeah, really great story. Fear Itself Wolverine, quickly, I'd say Fear Itself Wolverine, really don't need to pick it up if you're just looking for real Fear Itself tie-ins. This one happens in the timeline with Wolverine Fear Itself, but just like the Uncanny X-Force Fear Itself, it's an offshoot. It's dealing with, you know, these rogue people who are trying to, you know, destroy the X-Men or destroy the city with, you know, all the craziness that's happening from Fear Itself. So there are no hammer wielders in this one. And this rogue fella from, what was it, like MI13, I think it was an older fella, he was gone rogue from MI13, and he's trying to drop a nuke on New York, and this is a whole story with Melita and Wolverine. I do like this as a separate story, just for the adventure with Melita and Wolverine. But I probably didn't need to pick this one up. If you're just wanting to get the really good Fear Itself tie-ins, you probably don't need this one. You probably didn't need the Uncanny X-Force one, because it doesn't have anything to do with the hammer wielders. And there's so many excessive titles with Wolverine in it. I mean, you got Fear Itself Wolverine, Fear Itself Uncanny X-Force, Wolverine is in the Avengers, you know, X-Men ones. You probably see him here and there in the Fear Itself book. So this one you probably didn't need, but if I was going to pick up one of the better of the two for the side stories, I'd probably pick up Fear Itself Wolverine, because I really like the interaction and the adventure with Wolverine and Melita. This one, not my favorite Avengers tie-in in you know, Fear Itself tie-in. Mostly with this, I mean, it's good artwork in it, but from Romita, but the writing with the, like, the idea of the book is really great, but the format in the, you know, all the panels, like they're all being interviewed, that hasn't been my favorite way of telling this story, and I think a lot of other people. This one has a lot less of that, that's for sure. So a lot more fight with Skadi, the Red Skull's daughter. So this one was actually pretty good. This one had a lot more action in it, and the highlight of this one is when the Avengers are fighting against Red Skull's daughter, Sin, or Skadi, whatever you want to call her now. the Avengers Towers got dropped by the Thing, and I think it was Novar, the alien there, which was Captain Marvel in the Dark Avengers. He was able to control a bunch of old armor of Stark's that was in the rubble in Avengers Towers, and one of them happened to be the Iron Patriot. So when they put all these machines, these iron armors against her, that was pretty cool. That was definitely a highlight there, and seeing the Iron Patriot armor again. So not my favorite tie-in, but this one was pretty good. A definite must pick up, I think, for the Fear Itself tie-ins is Invincible Iron Man, because he's definitely going to play a big role in the end of Fear Itself, because him and the elves are making these weapons for the other heroes, you know, coupled with Stark technology and, you know, Asgardian enchantments and whatnot. So in this one, he gets attacked by a mud monster. Him and the elves, or the dwarves, end up defeating it. But yeah, basically at the end he gets blessed by Odin for his armor and the other weapons that he made, and it was really cool. I think it was right at the end of this one, or the picture for the next comic book, I can't remember. But anyways, what he looks like after he's being blessed by Odin in these fires of Svartalheim, it kind of looks like a cross between his Iron Man and the Destroyer armor. It looks really cool. It's going to be really amazing to actually see that in the Fear Itself stories. This is definitely a pickup for sure for the Fear Itself tie-ins. One I'm not really excited about, but it was good. There was definitely a high moment at the end of this book. But I read issue 8 and 9. So talking about issue 8 and 9 of FF. It was good in the sense of what kind of happened at the end. There's still one Reed Richards who gets left behind. They defeat the other two, and there's the Inhumans in this book too. It was probably played up more than I felt it was. I mean, I didn't feel the impact of the Inhumans being back, but I think if I recall in this one, either 8 or 9, a little funny joke with Spider-Man saying, you know, who the heck has 5 wives? You know, like they got to be crazy or something like that. He said something like that, you know, what sane person has 5 wives? And the look that Black Bolt gave Spider-Man, you know, and Spider-Man just blurted something out without thinking about it. And that look that Black Bolt gave Spider-Man was hilarious, because anybody knowing the Black Bolt character, him giving that look said a lot. It was a really cool moment. But at the end of this one, what I thought was really cool was where that last Reed Richards defeated Doctor Doom, or went against him, and he told him how many different Doctor Dooms in different universes that he's defeated. Do you think you're any different? And he ends up being able to slap a collar on him, and he's going to make him do his bidding. So that's going to be some neat stuff, and they're left at the end to go through a teleport that helps take you where you need to be, or want to be. So I guess the other heroes, they may be splitting off and going different ways. So that's going to be neat where they end up and what's happening. But I really want to know what's going to happen with Doctor Doom there. Let's see, Hulk of Arabia, and that's also with this. I had Hulk issue number 41, and I needed these two. So I have Hulk 40, and I read 40, 41, and 42. So 40 and 41, that was stuff with the Omega X. It was neat to see, you know, the Hulk, he defeated the Omega X, and throughout the talking, I mean, 01, she comes to no help, but not help, but she's really trying to understand, and has a really cool conversation pretty much throughout the whole storyline here about her trying to come to term or understand why save your humanity when this advanced state is better than your humanity, and it ends up being Hulk's humanity that saves him, saves everybody else, and destroys the Omega X. So it was really, really good. Really liked it. And it's kind of neat seeing Uatu the Watcher get his revenge for the Red Hulk punching him so many issues ago. I don't know, it was really kind of neat, and a little bit of the conversation there with the Watchers was pretty cool, so that was really enjoyable. Issue number 42 was where it's a new storyline, and Fontaine, one of Thunderbolt's old pals, doesn't know that Thunderbolt Ross is dead, and he's trying to go against the Red Hulk for killing him. Killing Thunderbolt. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, so they're having a fight, and then all of a sudden the Fontaine, he gets a transmission about something that happened to one of their older buddies, like somebody that Thunderbolt Ross knew and Fontaine knew, somebody who had died in another country. So anyways, that transmission gets intercepted by the Red Hulk, and they take off. He basically goes rogue, and he wants to find out what's happening with his old buddy, so he takes off, and that's going against, Steve Rogers, and the android that is supposed to be his handler. So he goes rogue, and ends up at the end that the Secret Avengers come in and are going to be there to stop him and bring him back, and which is going to be kind of neat because Valkyrie is in the Secret Avengers there, and she was with the Lady Liberators, She-Hulk and a bunch of other ladies, to try to defeat the Red Hulk quite a while ago when they didn't know it was Thunderbolt. So that interaction is probably going to be really neat to see how Thunderbolt reacts with her now. So yeah, so that's that. That's my comics, you guys. I'm probably going to get some comics in the mail soon. I got a couple more packages coming, some new stuff, some old stuff, and I've also recently bought some stuff off of Amazon as well too, so got quite a bit of stuff coming, and a lot of catch up to do as well. So yeah, so that's that, you guys. Leave some comments, tell me what you thought. Hopefully I shared some new stuff with you, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed my thoughts and presentation here. So anyways, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.